Lee McGee says if you want to do something you like professionally, you have to sacrifice something. Yeah. And I think that's, I mean, like, yeah, I'm definitely like a starving artist. I feel like I still feel though, like you say that, but you know what? Like in terms of between this and working in a kitchen, this is still better. Um, not only do I have opportunity and physical ability to do something that I like, um, and but I am not sacrificing my health. I'm not sacrificing my physical or mental health for it. Excuse me. And now I am on welfare. I'm on disability welfare. Thank goodness for that. But it's not a lot. It's not. Most people would still consider it to be like less than half as much as a person needs to live. It is. It is less than half as much as a person needs to live in my city. Um, to live, without being unhealthy. But still, I feel like at least I'm able to kind of it's easier for me, I think. And like not in the quitter way, but in the like I feel like I'm able to actually live the life that I want to live sort of way. Um, but yeah, I may never have a job, right? Like I may have to live on disability for my whole life, and I don't want to do that. Like I'm the kind of person like I like to work. I like to always do things and do them to the best of my ability. But if that's going to be taken advantage of, or if I'm not going to be fairly compensated for that, then that's not worth it to me. And I don't want to buy into that either. I don't want to have the social impact of kind of being part of the problem, no matter how small a part, by allowing somebody to do that to me. The more people that allow jobs to mistreat them because they're desperate, the more jobs will mistreat people because they know they're desperate, right? And they know that it will be allowed. And of course, there are so many people who aren't in a position where they can choose not to, but I don't want to buy into that problem. Um, Arvark, you said it's interesting to see geographic factors as well. When I first moved to Washington State, I lived out in a rural area. I started meeting a lot of guys who were all missing fingers, hands, or arms. So finally, I asked what was up with it. I was told that the local door plant, I don't know how to pronounce that, was the only place in the area with a lot of jobs. A lot of folks didn't have the money or scholarship guidance opportunities to get out of the area for schooling, so they all ended up working at the very unsafe door factory. Wow. Um, and that's huge. Like, if there was something like that in like Toronto, if there was such a factory, I would expect that it would be cracked down on, right? If people are constantly losing limbs at a factory in Toronto, that factory is going to be investigated and likely shut down, or, they're going to have to put stuff in place not to hurt their employees, right? Um, but then that's another thing too, is like, because it's all poor people who don't have proper education or who don't have sufficient education working there, who's going to take them to court? Like not only can they probably not afford to take their job to court, although they could do a class action, but they wouldn't know how to do a class action or even necessarily that a class action would exist. Um, And in response to Lee McGee saying, if you want to do something professionally that you like, then you have to sacrifice something, Aardvark says in some cases, maybe you even have to sacrifice your life. And that's definitely true. Like, you see a lot of, like, artists dying at a young age. And that's often, like, and I'm sure, I don't know, like, a lot of the time it's like, oh, it's drugs or it's, suicide. But it's like, but why? Why is it, like the tortured artist is also another really um is also another really big kind of stereotype, right? The tortured artist. It's like they're not financially